Pray there, friends, and good afternoon from EPCOT. It's your boy, the Pin Trading Pastor, and we are back with another round of pin trading here at EPCOT. Today, we have got a father-son challenge. Landon and I have come out here in the afternoon to do a round of pin trading. We've got your fake pins for fake pins. We've got authentic for authentic pins. But the goal of today is we've each chosen a character. And I'm gonna let Landon tell you which character he chose in a minute. And the goal of this, again, is to find as much of that particular character as we can. Will I win? Will Landon win? The winner gets to choose a prize of their choice. For me, I'm going for a mystery pack if I win. Landon may get a snack. I'm not sure what he's gonna get, but I'm excited for this challenge. Him and I love coming out to the parks together on an afternoon where we can get away. And so we're excited. So come along for the ride. Let's see what we can find. All right, Landon, so like I said a second ago, we are going to be looking for pins. And which character have you chosen to go with? I'm looking at your shirt. You've got Stitch there, but you said you're gonna go with a different character. Which character are you gonna go with?
I'm going to be looking for Goofy because growing up I used to love Goofy. Out of Mickey, Donald, Goofy was my favorite out of them, and I'm going to show you my pins.
All right, so these are the pins. These are the unauthentic pins that Landon's going to be using. Obviously, any authentics he sees, I'm going to put down for him. Flip that board over for us, Landon. All right, so he's going to go with those right there. Again, he said he's going to do Goofy. I don't know how much growing up you still got to do, kid, but he said he's going with Goofy because he liked him growing up, and that's fine. I'm going to go with Donald. I'm going to do Donald. Normally, I'd go with Mickey. You know he's my favorite. But we're going to do Donald today because I think if I went with Mickey, I would win in a landslide, and that's not real fair. And so any Donalds I see on the board, that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, obviously, if there's any authentic pins outside of those and there's no Donald on the board, I'll go ahead and do that. And so, yeah, let's get this started. I'm excited for this challenge, and let's see what we can find today. All right, before we get started, I do want to show you the authentic pins we're going to be using today. I got Goofy in the background doing a meet and greet there, but I want to show you the authentic pins that we're going to be using today. And so here you go. I've got me a Loungefly guy right there. I've got a Toy Story guy, got the Marvels, got a Rabbit, got Maleficent. And on this side, we've got Donald, we've got a Goofy, we've got one of the sleeping animals, we've got Angel, another Marvel, Lucifer, Mickey, and Donald there. And so definitely a ton of authentic pins today. Obviously, Landon's got his unauthentic, I've got mine, but we've got plenty authentics too if we find stuff that we want. So let's hit this first board and see what we can find today. Okay, so the first board we're gonna hit is found right here to the right-hand side of Spaceship Earth, and it's gonna be found right here at Pin Trader. So we're gonna walk in, take a look at that, and see if there's anything we can find for our challenge today. All right, friends, and here is the first board of the day at Pin Traders, and it looks like Landon's gonna take a 1-0 lead because there it is. There is Goofy. Landon, which pin are you gonna trade for that today?
I'm going to put down this Mr.
The Mr. Wedding pin set, and you're gonna take that Goofy, and Landon's up 1-0. On to the next one. All right, so Landon's off to a 1-0 lead on the very first board of the day. I'm gonna have him keep track of his, I'll keep track of mine. The next board's gonna be right here at Gateway Gifts, and so we're gonna walk into the left-hand side of Spaceship Earth and see if there's any pins we need. All right, and here is pin board number 2 of the day here at Gateway Gifts, and we are looking for Donald and we are looking for Goofy. Landon has that 1-0 lead. I wish I would have gone with Mickey. There's one right there and there's one right there, but nope, I'm doing Donald. And so I'm not seeing anything we need on this board, and so we'll move on to the next one. Well, before we get too far in the video, I do want to do the drip check for the day. Drip check! And as you take a look at the hat there, the hat says, God is good all the time. And my friends, as the Pin Trading Pastor, you know I will without a shadow of a doubt say, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. And I do have a shirt on today I want to show you. It says, no Jesus, no peace, no Jesus, no peace. Now, what does that mean? Well, obviously, knowing Jesus has given me the most peace I've ever had in my life. And the vertical portion of that says no Jesus, no peace, N-O Jesus, no peace, means without Jesus in your life, it's very hard to obtain peace. Since I've become a Christian, since I've given my life to Jesus Christ, it has given me the most peace I've ever had in my life. As a pastor, as a husband, as a father, it gives me the most peace, being able to go to His Word, being able to reach out to Him in prayer. It is the greatest blessing I've ever been bestowed. And so friends, I encourage you today, if you do not know Jesus, I encourage you to get to know Him. If you don't, reach out to me, let me come alongside you and help you with that. But we're gonna get back to the pin trading. Let's go, friends. so pin board number 3 is going to be located right here at Guest Relations. I have seen it outside under this blue umbrella a time or two. I'm not sure whether it's inside or outside today, but we'll take a look and see if there's anything we need. All right, friends, here is the pin board inside of Guest Relations, and it looks like Landon's going to start off with a commanding lead. He is going to take this goofy right here, and he's going to take this goofy right here. Which 2 pins are you going to trade for that, Landon? You're going to do those 2 right there, take this one, and this one. Now I am going to trade for this. Again, I'm always going to look for a good authentic pin. So I'm going to take this guy right here, and I'm going to go ahead and leave behind this one right here, and we will move on to the next one. All right, so Landon, come on over here, buddy. Where are you at? You're off to a 3-0 lead right now. You think I can make a comeback?
Probably.
Probably? All right, it's 3-0. Landon's up 3-0. That's okay. I feel a comeback coming on with Donald. The next pin board is going to be located right here. It's actually the next 2. You've got a kiosk right here in the middle of EPCOT, here in the middle, and then you've got a kiosk right over here, and those will be the next 2 boards that we'll look at. All right, here is the pin board at kiosk number 1, and as we make our way around the board, man, Landon's going to go up 4-0. There it is. There's a goofy for Landon, so I know he's going to take this guy. Landon, what are we going to leave?
I'm going to put down this.
You're going to put Pumbaa down? All right, so we're going to put Pumbaa down right there. And Landon has just found his 4th goofy of the day. All right, friends, so at our second pin kiosk, we did find a cast member with a Donald, so I am going to take this to get on the board with my first Donald of the day. And then the pin board here at the second kiosk actually has a Donald as well. So we're going to take this guy, and we will leave this little cat here for that one, and for the Donald on the cast member pin pad, we'll leave that one, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so next we're going to walk into the creation shop and see if we can't find any pin trading cast members before we make our way to Club Cool today. All right, so we did run into a pin trading cast member here in the creation shop, and there is another goofy for Landon. And so I know he's going to trade for that guy. What are you going to give up for it, Landon? You're going to do that Mickey trophy right there, and you're going to take that goofy, and you're going to take a commanding 5-2 lead. All right, so as we make our way to the next pin board here at Club Cool, Landon has a commanding 5-2 lead. Goofy over Donald right now. So let's walk in, take a look at this board, and see if there's anything we need. All right, friends, here is the pin board in Club Cool. And man, we kind of hit the jackpot here. More so for Landon than me, but he's going to take that goofy, and he's going to take that goofy, and I'm going to take this Donald. Landon, which 2 are you going to leave behind, buddy? You're going to leave those 2 guys right there. Let's make sure you can't leave that one. That's a double, so you got to come up with a different one. And I'm going to leave this guy for my Donald. Nope, Pumbaa is not on there. You'll leave those 2, and we'll move on to the next one. I just wanted to pop on here and say I had no idea that the maximum occupancy here at Club Cool was 6-7. 6-7. All right, Landon, so the maximum occupancy there inside of Club Cool was 6-7. Can I get one? 6-7. All right, there you go. And our next pin board is going to be found right here at the Guest Experience Team Blue Umbrella as Landon celebrates 6-7. All right, friends, and here is the pin board located here at the Guest Experience Team Blue Umbrella, and look at that. We got a Donald. So we're going to take this guy here and add another number to mine. Let's go ahead and leave behind Alice right here. I don't see Alice on the board, and so we'll put Alice right there, and we will take this Donald for our challenge today. All right, so as we make our way towards the Guardians of the Galaxy gift shop, the updated scorecard is Landon 7 goofy pins, Dad 4 Donald pins. And so, yeah, we're gonna make our way to this next board here, and that next board is gonna be right here. It's gonna be in the Treasures of Xandar gift shop, and so we're gonna walk in there, take a look at that board, and see if there's anything we need for our challenge today. All right, so we do have a Star-Lord sighting here at the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. That's always a nice thing to have, and so it's good to see you, Star-Lord. All right, and here is the gift shop here at Treasures of Xandar, and so we're gonna walk in, take a look at that board, and see what we can find. All right, here is the pin board found in the Treasures of Xandar gift shop, and as we make our way around the board, man, Landon is just extending that lead as he has found a goofy popsicle that he is gonna take. And he's going to leave these little shoes behind. No, you can't. No, you can't. That would be a double. Got to do a different one. Leave the goofy hat. The goofy hat, because you brought that one. So we'll leave this one, and we'll take this one for our challenge today. No Donalds. No Donalds for me, and so we have to move on to the next one. All right, so the next pin board is going to be located right here at Mission Space Cargo Bay. So we're going to walk in, head out to the checkout counter, and see what pin there is to help us with this challenge. All right, and here is the pin board at Mission Space Cargo Bay, and there's a goofy. and there's a Goofy. So I know Landon's gonna take those two. There's a Donald, so I'm gonna take this guy. And so for this Donald, I will leave behind this princess heel here. And Landon's gonna leave behind these two for his two. And we'll give you an updated tally here in just a minute. All right, so as we make our way towards the Test Track gift shop, Landon has a commanding lead. He has doubled my score. It is 10 Goofy pins to 5 Donald pins for me. Man, if I don't get a comeback going, Landon's gonna run away with this thing really, really fast. All right, so the next pin board is gonna be found here at the Test Track gear shop, and that is the gift shop connected to Test Track. And so we'll walk in, take a look, and see if there's anything we need. All right, friends, and here is the pin board located inside Test Track gear shop. And as we make our way around the board, I am not seeing a Donald or a Goofy pin. That's not gonna help us, but I do see this Evil Queen that I really like. And so I'm gonna take this guy right here. And obviously, this is your reminder, always trade a good pin for a good pin. We're gonna leave behind this Marvel's pin right here, and we're gonna take this Evil Queen home for our collection. All right, so as we make our way away from Test Track, I didn't even the score, even come close to getting any more Donald pins, but I'm not unhappy with that Evil Queen pin I just scored. Again, that's an awesome pin. That's gonna be a great trader. I don't collect Evil Queen, but I am so happy to have found that on a board and put another good pin down for somebody. And so, yeah, we're gonna start towards World Showcase. There's a couple merchandise booths I wanna hit before we head that way, and so we're gonna hit those and then make our way into World Showcase today. All right, so before we enter World Showcase, usually there are pin trading cast members right here at this kiosk and pin trading cast members over here, and Landon's signaling me, so we're gonna head over there and take a look at that cast member's pin pad right now. All right, and so we did find a pin trading cast member, and they have a blind trade, and we've been told it is a good pin, and so we are going to blind trade a good one. Let's do our Coco pin right here. I want to leave a good pin for somebody, so we're gonna leave this, and let's see what we found. Do we have to choose one?
Yeah.
Which one do you want to choose, Landon?
Down.
Bottom one. All right, that's the one we're gonna go with.
I love it. Ready?
I'm ready.
And you got a 2025.
Oh, a 2025 Pluto, and we're giving up that.
Trade if you want to.
No, we like Pluto. You go ahead and keep Coco, and we'll move on to the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we did find that awesome Pluto 2025 over there. The cast member also had a trivia question, and the question was in Zootopia, the mob boss's daughter saves Nick and Judy. Why did she choose not to have them iced? And the answer was that Judy saved her from a falling donut, which was accurate. And so we did get another 2025, this Donald right here. And so that'll go towards our collection today and add on. So I believe the score is now 10-6, and so we'll move on to the next one. All right, so it might be 80 degrees and I might be in a tank top today, but Christmas season here at EPCOT is in full effect. Take a look. Look at that gorgeous Christmas tree as you enter World Showcase. I'm okay with it. I love me an 80-degree Christmas time. I like to be able to be in a tank top like this. It never bothers me. And so, yeah, really excited to have the Christmas and Thanksgiving season approaching right now. All right, so our next pin board is gonna be located right here at the Guest Experience Team Blue Umbrella before we make our way into Mexico. So let's take a look at that board. All right, friends, here is the pin board located at the Guest Experience Team Blue Umbrella, and boom, there is a Donald pin, and I'm gonna take that guy, and we will leave behind Oogie Boogie right here, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so the first pin board we're gonna look at as we get ready to enter World Showcase is found here at Disney Traders. So we're gonna walk in, look at that board, and see if I can't find a Donald to catch up to Landon's Goofy total. All right, friends, here is the pin board located inside of Disney Traders. And again, we are looking for Goofy and Donald, and I am not seeing any of those, and so we will move on to the next one. All right, so the first country we're going to stop at here in World Showcase is gonna be Mexico. They generally have two pin boards, one on the outside on the right-hand side at the exit, and the other on the inside, and so we'll walk in, take a look, and see if there's anything we need. All right, friends, here is the first pin board here in the Mexico Pavilion. As we make our way around, I am not seeing a Donald, and I'm not seeing a Goofy, but I am seeing this Hulk right here. That is the real deal, and so we wanna take this guy here, and we'll go ahead and leave behind our Pluto that we don't need anymore, and we'll take this Hulk home for our collection today. All right, so the pin board located inside the Mexico Pavilion is found here at the La Tienda and Cantada, and so we're gonna walk in, look at that board, and see if there's anything we need for our challenge. All right, friends, and here is the pin board located inside La Tienda and Cantada, which is the gift shop here in the Mexico Pavilion. And boom, there is another Donald. And so we're gonna take this guy right here, and we'll go ahead and leave behind this princess heel right there, take this Donald, and we'll give you an updated tally here in just a moment. So I just needed to video Donald over there because I don't get to see him too often. And that's who I'm hunting for pin-wise today. So there's Donald, we love Donald. on to the next one. All right, so I have climbed back into the game as we make our way to Norway here. Landon has 10 Goofy pins, I have 8 Donald pins, and so we are starting the comeback, and I'm pretty pumped about that as we make our way to Norway. But I did want to show you a cool pin I just got in a blind trade there in the Mexico Pavilion inside with one of the pin trading cast members. I was able to get this Mulan Princess pastry right here, and I was able to trade that Lucifer Villains pin that I had for that Princess pastry, and I wasn't mad about that at all. All right, so the pin board here in the Norway Pavilion is going to be found here at the Fjording. And so that is the Frozen Ever After gift shop. We're going to walk in, take a look at that board, and see if there's anything we need. All right, here is the pin board located in the Frozen Ever After gift shop, the Fjording. And I don't know how Landon can get so lucky. He's got a Goofy hat here and a Goofy hat here, the same exact pin on the board. And he's going to take both of them. I guess that takes the duplicate pins off, but that's going to give him another commanding lead, and so it's on to the next one. All right, friends, and we did run into a pin trading cast member here in the Fjording, and boom, there is another Goofy pin for Landon. So he's going to take that. Landon, which pin are you going to give? I'm going to do Roxanne right here, Minnie with a bob for Goofy, and we're on to the next one. All right, and we did run into another pin trading cast member, and boom, there's a Donald for me, so I'm going to gain a little bit of traction. So I'm going to take that guy right there, and let's go ahead and leave behind this stitch right here, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so as we make our way into China, Landon has found 12 Goofy pins. I have found 9 Donald pins, so he has a 3-pin lead. And so we're going to head in here into the China gift shop here in the China Pavilion and see what we can have happen. The pin board here in China is located at House of Good Fortune. It's at the KidCot area here in this merchandise shop. So we're going to walk in, take a look, and see if there's anything we need. All right, and here is the pin board located in China. And as we make our way around the board, I'm not seeing a Goofy, I'm not seeing a Donald, and I'm not seeing an authentic pin that I want to take home for my collection, and so we'll move on to the next one. All right, so as we leave China and make our way around World Showcase, the next pin board is going to be here at this Guest Experience 2 Blue Umbrella before we enter Germany, and so we'll take a look at that board and see what we need. All right, and here is the pin board at the Guest Experience Team Blue Umbrella. Looks like Landon and I are both going to get one today. We're going to go with this Goofy for Landon. We're going to go with this Donald for me. Landon's going to leave behind Alice, and I believe I'm going to leave behind this shoe, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, friends, so we have stumbled across another pin parade here at EPCOT. So we're going to take a look at these pins and get back to you in just a moment. But look at all these pin trading cast members here just before you enter Germany. So we're going to take a look at these boards. All right, so I just have to count the amount of cast members here with pads or boards. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That is by far the most I've ever seen at a pin parade or any of these pin trading things. So that's really, really cool to see. Awesome to stumble upon one of these at EPCOT again today. Fine, Landon? Are you doing good? Oh, you're dropping pins. Keep going out there. Keep going and get some pins, buddy. I know you're having fun. All right, friends. Well, that was an awesome, awesome pin parade that we just came across. That was really, really cool to see. Landon did really well there and getting some pins that he wanted for our family. But yeah, we're back to the challenge. Landon has 13 Goofy pins. I am sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Donald pins. And so he's got me by 4. And our next pin board is going to be located here in the Germany Pavilion at Das Haus. And we're going to walk in here, take a look, and see if there's anything we need for our challenge. All right, friends. Well, here is the pin board in the Germany Pavilion. And as we make our way around the board, there's a Donald there, and there's a Goofy there. And so we're going to take these two here. Landon, which pin are you going to leave behind for your Goofy there? I'm going to lead this Monsters Inc. popsicle. That is not a real one for this Donald. Landon, which one are you going to leave? That Mickey hat right there for that Goofy, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so I've been to a few of the Eat to the Beat concert festival things they have. I believe it is the Beach Boys who are in town today. The line is all the way back here past Germany. That's insane. I don't think I've ever seen a line that long. I am not watching the Beach Boys today. I am pin trading, but yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, so our next pin board is going to be found in the Enoteca Castello here in Italy. It's in the gift shop. This will be the bar end of it, but if you take a right here, you'll see the pin board in the gift shop on the right-hand side. All right, here is the pin board located inside the gift shop here in Italy. And as we make our way around the board, I am not seeing any Donald, any Goofy, any pins that we want, so we'll move on to the next one. All right, so the next pin board we're going to look at is located here in America, and there is the main building here. We're going to swing over to the right here, and the pin board is going to be in the EPCOT fun spot located over here to the right-hand side of the Art of Disney. And so we're going to walk over there, take a look at that board, see if we can find any more Goofy or Donald for our challenge today. All right, here is the pin board located at the EPCOT fun spot here in America. And as we make our way around the board, I'm not seeing a Donald or a Goofy. We do have a pin trading cast member, but again, not seeing a Donald or a Goofy on this one as well. And so we will move on to the next one. Well, as I'm getting into the Christmas season and taking a look at this beautiful Christmas tree here in America, Landon was making a trade with one of the cast members over there, and he got another Goofy pin, taking him up to, did you say 14?
Yeah.
14. He has 14, and I believe I'm still sitting at 9, 10. What am I still sitting at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 14 to 10. Not happy about it. All right, so Japan is the next country we're going to enter here in World Showcase. And if you're looking for the pin board, it's going to be in the middle. And you're going to take this walkway all the way back. And the pin board is also going to be located in the EPCOT fun spot. So we'll head back there, take a look at that board, see if there's anything we need. All right, so Japan did not have their pin board. It's 3:45. And they have already gotten rid of the pin board for the day, she said. So that's new. Haven't seen that happen yet. So I'm not going to be able to gain any ground. And Landon recounted his pins while we were in there. He's actually at 15. So it's 15 Goofy pins for Landon, 10 Donald pins for Dad. And so we're going to move on to the next country.
6.
All right, friends, here is the pin pad located at the food cart, snack cart right outside of Japan. And Landon's going to trade for this Goofy. And so that makes 16 for him now. All right, so the next pin board and the next country is going to be found here in Morocco, and the pin board is going to be located in the Gifts of Morocco. And so we're going to walk in the shop, take a left, and it'll be out the checkout counter. All right, and here is the pin board located inside the Gifts of Morocco, and we're looking for Donald and Goofy, and I am not seeing either of those, and so we'll move on to the next one. The next pin board is going to be located here in the France Pavilion in Les Halles, and so we're going to walk in, take a look at that board, and see if there's anything we need today. All right, here is the pin board in the French Pavilion here in France. And as we look around the pin board in Les Halles, I'm not seeing anything. Not seeing a Donald, not seeing a Goofy, and so we will move on to the next one. All right, well, before we leave France, the next pin board is going to be here at the Guest Experience Team Blue Umbrella before we cross the bridge into the UK. And so let's take a look at that board and see if there's anything we need. All right, so we went ahead and bypassed the Guest Experience Team Blue Umbrella. One, the line was very, very long. I didn't want to wait. And two, there was no Goofy or Donald pins or even authentic pins to help us in our challenge today. And so we will move on to the next one. All right, so it doesn't look like it's out today, but this pin cart right here in between the UK and in between France normally has a pin board. I am going to walk over and look at some of the pins today, but I do not see a pin board that they have out today. All right, so per the usual, instead of heading into the UK, we're going to head over to World Traveler and see if there is any pin trading cast members, as well as check the guest relations board inside of guest relations just as you enter the park from the Skyliner side. All right, so no pin trading cast members there inside of World Traveler. So the next pin board we're going to look at is right here at guest relations just as you enter the park here at EPCOT on the Skyliner side. All right, friends, and here is the pin board inside of guest relations. And again, we are on the hunt for Goofy and Donald, and there's a Goofy pin for Landon, so I know he's going to take that. And as I look around the board, I am not seeing anything that's going to work for me. He's going to go ahead and trade this King Triton, and we will move on to the next one. All right, friends, here is the pin board at the ticket center here as you enter EPCOT. And I do see a Donald that I'm going to take. And as I make my way around the board, I see a Goofy that Landon's going to take, and then I see another Donald that I'm going to take. And so we're going to take these. And what pins are we going to leave for those today, Landon?
I'm going to leave the square Jesse.
You're going to leave Jesse there, and I will leave, let's go ahead and leave this Woody and this Pumbaa, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so that was a nice score there for me. And so, Landon, what are you at again? How many you got?
I'm at 17.
17. He has 17 Goofy pins. I have 12 Donald pins. And so, yeah, it's pretty crazy. He's up 5, but I'm making a comeback. I'm gonna make this comeback. So as we enter the UK, the next pin board is gonna be found right here at the Crown and Crest. And so we're gonna walk in this door right here, and the pin board should be on the left-hand side at the checkout counter. All right, friends, here is the pin board at the Crown and Crest here in the UK Pavilion. And as I make my way around the board again, it's Goofy or it's Donald. That's it. That's all we need. So as I look around this board, I'm not seeing anything for Landon or myself, and so we're on to the next one. All right, so we've reached the final country we're going to be attending here in World Showcase, and it is in Canada. And the first pin board is located right here at Northwest Mercantile. So we will walk in, take a look at that board, and see if there's anything we need. All right, friends, here is the pin board located in Northwest Mercantile, and Landon strikes again as he has this Goofy pin right here. And I'm not seeing a Donald pin on this board, and so we will move on to the next one. All right, so I believe I've mentioned this before. There are 3 boards in Canada, 3. That first one is at Northwest Mercantile. The second one is gonna be right up here at the Le Cellier Steakhouse, and so we're gonna go into that one. And the third one will be over there at the KidCot Fun Spot, which we'll hear in just a moment. But first, Le Cellier Steakhouse. All right, here is the pin board at the Le Cellier Steakhouse. And as we make our way around the board, I'm not seeing, again, any Mickeys, any Donalds, any other pins that we might want to take home for our collection. And so we'll move on to the next one. All right, so the best thing about having my son Landon with me as I record this is he's going to correct me when I'm wrong. Le Cellier, I said no Mickeys, no Donalds. I meant no Goofies, no Donalds. And so, yeah, the next pin board is going to be located right here, KidCot Fun Spot. So we'll take a walk back here, take a look at those boards, see if there's anything we need. All right, friends, here is the pin board at the KidCot Fun Spot here in Canada. And I thought I was going to make up some ground because there's Donald 1 and there's Donald 2, but right there's a Goofy and right there's a Goofy. And so Landon's going to take these 2. And so he'll take these 2 guys right here. I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to take this one. Landon, which one are you going to leave behind? So you're going to leave Rex and that shoe right there. I will leave this pin right here, and I will leave this guy, and we will move on to the next one. All right, so the next pin board is going to be found here at the Disney Vacation Club hut just outside of Canada. And so we'll take a look at this board and see if there's anything we need. All right, here is the pin board located at the DVC Vacation Club hut here just outside of Canada. And there's another Goofy hat for Landon. And so we're going to go ahead and leave behind this Pumbaa right here. Take this Goofy, and I think that makes 21 pins for him, but we'll give you the updated count in just a minute. All right, so as we make our way out of World Showcase, I am running out of pin boards to catch up with. Landon has 21 Goofy pins to my 14 Donald pins. And so the next pin board is going to be located right here. It's the last little spot here in World Showcase. It's port of entry. And so we're going to walk in here, take a look at that board before we hit this left side of the park as we exit, and see if I can't make a comeback here. All right, friends, here is the pin board found at port of entry here as we exit World Showcase. And again, it's Donald, it's Goofy, and I'm not seeing any on this board nor an authentic that I want, and so we will move on to the next one. All right, so the next pin board is going to be the Journey into the Imagination gift shop. So there's the entrance. We're gonna head to the left-hand side here down this walkway, which is the exit to the ride. And that is where it's gonna be. It's gonna be called ImageWorks. That is the gift shop. And so we'll walk in, take a look, see if there's anything on that board we need. All right, here is the pin board at ImageWorks here, the Journey into the Imagination gift shop, and there is no Goofy or Donald on this board, and so that's not gonna work for us, and so we're gonna move on to the next one. Our next pin board is gonna be found right here at the Guest Experience Team Blue Umbrella, so let's walk over, take a look at that board, and see if there's anything we need for our challenge today. Okay, so no pin board there at the Guest Experience Blue Team Umbrella, and so we're gonna make our way over to the middle here. I'll show you right now. We're gonna go over to this merch cart found right over here. It's going to be directly across from Communicore Hall, and so there's Communicore Hall, and then we're going to be right over here, and they usually have a pin board. All you got to do is ask the cast member and they'll show it to you. All right, here is the pin board at the merch cart just across from Communicore Hall, and I'm seeing 2 pins that we're going to take. I think we're going to take Alice, and I think we're going to take Clarabelle. Landon, do you want to take those off of there? And I think we're going to leave behind, let's leave behind this guy here. And let's leave behind our Incredible Hulk pin here, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so that may come back to bite me. I took those 2 authentic pins, put 2 other authentic pins down there because I was really excited about that Alice and that Clarabelle. But Landon pointed out to me, didn't you, Landon? There was a Donald on that board for me, and Landon was actually going to trade for it for me because I chose my 2 trades for the authentic ones. And I was I'm losing by 7. There's 2, maybe 3 pin boards left, so I kind of threw in the towel, but we'll see what happens on these next couple boards. All right, so the next pin board is located here at the Sea Base Aquarium. So we're gonna walk in, take a look at that board and see if there's anything we need for our collection. All right, friends, well, we did come across a pin trading cast member here in the Sea Base Aquarium, and Landon's gonna trade for that Goofy. And on the pin board here, he's gonna trade for that Goofy. And so I know my days are numbered as far as this challenge, but he's gonna go ahead and trade for those 2. We'll leave this guy behind, and we'll leave this other Goofy that we brought with us behind. All right, so after Landon got 2 more Goofy pins, that gives him a grand total of 23, and I am at 16. So there is no way in the world that I can come up with 7 pins because we have 1 pin board remaining. We have 1 pin board remaining at the Coral Reef restaurant, and so, hey, maybe I'll find 2 and close the gap, but it looks like Landon's gonna be able to get a snack or a treat or a mystery pack of his choice. And so we'll take a look at this last board and see if there's anything we want today. All right, so our last board of the day is gonna be found here at the Coral Reef restaurant. So we're gonna head right over here, walk in through those doors and ask those cast members to see that pin board. All right, friends, here is the last pin board of the day. And as we make our way around this board, I'm not seeing a Donald, not seeing a Goofy. So Landon is for sure gonna win, but we are definitely gonna trade for this Baymax here. So we're gonna take Baymax here, and I think we're gonna leave behind our Avengers A. And so we're gonna leave this guy here, take this one home for our collection today. All right, friends, well, that's gonna do it for us from EPCOT today. It has been an amazing challenge, and at the end of the day, Landon beat me with 23 Goofy pins. I had 16 Donald pins, so I'm gonna let him show you the winnings that he had. So Landon, if you would, how many you got there? Show me that board there, buddy.
I got 23. Most of them were just his hat and the Apple versions of him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
24 pins, so he beat me massively. Landon, did you have a fun time today?
Yeah.
All right, did you enjoy pin trading with your dad?
Yeah.
All right, so what are you gonna get? You tell them what you're gonna get. I know you don't have it. What are you gonna get for your win?
I'm probably going to get the strawberry frozen lemonade cup near the Nemo ride, the Finding Dory or Nemo ride.
All right. So he wins. He gets to get what he wants. He's gonna get the strawberry lemonade cup they have here at Disney World. That's what he wants. He don't want a pin. He wants the strawberry lemonade cup, which, hey, he wins. He gets to do what he wants. And so, again, I had a blast with my son, Landon. We love doing the pin trading. Love being able to come out here and spend some time together and bring you along. And so, again, if you're not following us on all the socials, ask yourself why. It's Pin Trading Pastor. And follow us on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, follow us on Instagram. Again, if you want to see some challenges, different things we do, today was just each choose a character and see who comes out on top. We had a blast doing that, but we want to do all sorts of different things. And so leave a comment. Let us know what you want to see. It has been an awesome time being able to bring you this from EPCOT today. Again, not sure what we're going to do next, but we're going to bring you along for the ride. And as always, love God, love people. Stay blessed, my friends.